Hi there, today's slightly out of sync video features a comparison between 4K heat and the Laserdisc of heat, both at the same ratio. Now there's been quite a lot of talk on various forums and etc. about the dark nature in colour terms of this remaster or whatever, or 4K heat. So I thought, well, I'll give it a go. This is rather one of my favourite films, and I thought let's see what all the fuss was about. Obviously comparing a 4K film against a fuzzy Laserdisc is a bit of a sort of a non-starter as such, but I just wanted to see what the colour was actually like. And some of they say the dark scenes, people say they can't really see the characters and whatever, but it seems to be quite a good little movie in itself, and the pictures seems to be okay on my Sony 4K TV. Now the Laserdisc and obviously the 4K player plugged into separate HDMI ports. Now the HDMI settings for the 4K input aren't really mucked around with, because the 4K machine seems to sort out its own sort of colour, and what it produces seems to be fine to my eyes. The Laserdisc HDMI input is slightly tweaked to make up for the softness of the Laserdisc, because sometimes you have to muck around with each one, because each one is not necessarily the same sort of colour as the last Laserdisc that you happen to put in. Now the HDMI's output comes from a DVD-O VP50, which is just used to scale the picture sometimes. So that's fine. The only thing I'd say about DVD VP50s is that the power supply on them, the third-party power supplies you have to get these days, are really appalling. Normally I turn mine off at the mains because the power supplies tend to overheat, and you think, well, the whole place is going to go up in flames. And the other day I obviously must have played a film, and I actually left the VP50 on, and I came back to it today to make this video, and the power supply is actually not working at all. Luckily I had another one which I thought was a busted one, but it was actually a brand new one that's for some reason I never used, and I plugged that one in and away it goes. But I must remember always to turn them off, one obviously now, to stop them burning out. That power supply must have lasted all of 2 months. So if you ever do end up with a DVD-O VP50 and it doesn't work, check out the power supplies, which you really need to get one that actually does fit that certain machine, because other ones I've had floating around. It's amazing. If you had a laptop whose power supply burnt out every 5 weeks or something, if you kept it on, you'd have chucked it long ago. Anyway, that's enough of my waffle. So watch the comparison and see which one you can pick. See if you can spot the Laserdisc. And if you like this oddball little chats of mine, have a little click on the subscribe button. Cheers.